Powerbox 65.4 amplifier to this Volkswagen T5.1. So the amplifier is designed to just simply fit in line with the factory radio. If it's fitted with an aftermarket radio, you can just plug in the harness provided, or if it's got the original fitted radio, like in this case, then you just use a vehicle-specific T-harness. So first we need to remove the radio. So using a trim tool, we're just going to remove this top panel first. And you need to unclip this from the front edge closest to the windscreen. Again, being careful not to damage the dash. We can just lift that, move that back out of the way. Right, now we have two screws, torque screws, located in the top of the front fascia panel. Just need to remove those. Keep these safe refitting. Now we need to remove this panel from the around the radio. So just using your trim tool, starting on one of the edges. Unclip this fascia, working our way around, just releasing the clips. Once removed, just unplug the connectors from behind. Now we can remove the bolts that hold on the radio. Unplug the antenna connector, and then unplug the original plug by just pulling the lever up. Okay, so here we have our factory plug. So our T-harness, designed simply, one end goes in here, and then this goes back into the original radio. And halfway down we've got some ISO plugs where our amplifier will plug in line. It's worth noting there's two types of T-harness. This one has all the wires fully populated all the way through, but there is a version which has these wires missing. So if that's the case, we need to disconnect or unclip the blue and the green mini ISO plugs from here. There's two little tabs underneath. We remove those and we transfer them back up to the plug on our T-harness just here, so they're still plugged into the back of the radio. Okay. So, just like we removed, we use our lever, connect him, clip him in place. So currently our radio will still work because power and the speakers pass through these ISO plugs. But what we're going to do is we're going to put our amplifier harness in between. Unplug those connectors. Female plugs on our amp harness will go here. And the two male connectors will go into the other side of our T-harness, just like so. So this means audio will come out of our radio into this connector, into the amplifier, and then the amplified signal will come back up and feed back out through the speakers. And the other end simply plugs in to the amplifier. And there you have it. That's the amplifier connected. So we've removed the glove box, 5 Torx screws, and that comes out completely, and we've routed our amplifier wiring behind the dash up to behind the glove box. So the harness is quite long, so it can either go behind the glove box or down into the footwell if need be. So then tuck all your connectors and wiring out the way, and we can reinstall the radio again. So insert the connector from our T-harness, the back of the radio, and the antenna. And it's always good to do a quick test before you refit all the dash. So let's turn the ignition on. There we go. The radio comes on. Check our amplifier. We should have a green LED for power. There we go, just on there. Now the amplifier is audio sensing, so when plugged in using the harness, once it sees sound, it will automatically switch on. If I turn the radio off, and there we go, the green LED light goes out, so the amplifier's off. Now before we fully install this, you just need to set it up. So amplifier settings for the front channels and rear channels, we've got full audio or high pass filter. So full is if you want all frequencies going to the speakers. Use high pass if you're fitting a sub. So the high pass filter will cut off the bass from the speakers inside the car. Gain settings. To adjust the gain, you want to turn your radio up to about 3/4 and then adjust the gain until you start to hear distortion, and then turn it back a little bit. This is usually around the halfway mark. You never want to run the gain at full, because this could end up damaging the speakers. So once it's set up, mount the amplifier, tidy up the wiring, you can reinstall the glove box, reinstall the dash. It's also worth noting that if you install the amplifier in a conventional way, using your RCAs, then it is not auto sensing, so you have to use the blue wire as a remote to switch it on like you would normally. There is also an orange wire on the amplifier, so once the amplifier on, this provides 12 volt out, so you can use this to turn on other amplifiers. And there you go, that's installing the Powerbox 65.4.